Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today I am back with two Alliance War videos. Didn't upload the war against GT40 because I only had 4 fights and several of them were similar from the first war. But I do have some more interesting stuff in the war number 3. So first war, obviously GT40, extremely strong alliance. We did beat them the last season. And this season, obviously, is brand new map, brand new tactics, so anything's possible, but we are still definitely facing an uphill battle. So here I'm using Galen, Ronan again, and Anti-Venom. Anti-Venom has been quite clutch, to be honest, and I really like the guy. I might take him to rank 5 just because I really like the guy. Right, so my first fight is going to be yet again against that Venom over there on path 3, and the base idea is that it's just a typical Galen fight. If Venom gains an armor buff, it's better for me because that will supercharge Galen's abilities and I'll be able to nuke that down significantly faster. If not, I basically just need to throw an extra level 1 or something. So there's nothing too crazy here, because if opponent has an armor up buff active, he would try to power drain me on every single hit. Galen's immune to that. When he triggers his immunity, he starts gaining his planetary mass like crazy, and the fight's over. And if he doesn't gain an armor buff, it's just a Venom. Let's face it, Venom isn't that scary. Venom is one of those champions with always catching people because of his animations, and he can eat in your health bar very quickly, especially if he's refusing to throw that special attack. You get caught, you get comboed, and you do get some bleed. So bad things can happen in this fight, but here we can see he did have that armor buff, so this fight's done. I was at 999 planetary mass before I activated level 1. Max possible damage at 232k per Galen, and the fight's over. Next up, I'm going to be using Anti-Venom against Scarlet Witch, and here the main trick, the main thing is to try and stagger her as much as possible in order to prevent the armor ups. If she doesn't get any armor up, and if I'm successfully staggering everything, then it's a very straightforward fight. Anti-Venom as well is a tactic attacker, so he has access to slow, he has access to those withers, and I will be going also for my deaccelerate, so even when I don't have slow on, the opponent, life's gonna be fine, life's gonna be good. And for most part, for damage, I'm just going to be chipping away the way I am. I think I am going to get caught at some point. But the cool thing about Anti-Venom is I don't need to even try and dex anything. I can always just block all the special attacks, gain quite a bit more power. And yeah, there's not much to be worried about. And here we go. Yet again, staggered, slowed, deaccelerated, petrified, and withered. That Scarlet Witch is not having a good time. That poor little Scarlet Witch is not having a good time, and I'm just continuously spamming my level 1s to inflict my petrifies and reverse the willpower healing, and obviously chip her away. Now, one thing that I do need to do is I forgot to put a striker on my Anti-Venom for this war and for the next one as well. I'm still not used to Alliance War having strikers, and there was no reason why my Anti-Venom, shouldn't have a striker on him. But it's fine. The fight was perfectly fine, nothing too scary there. And next up, I need to deal with this man thing, and this is going to be like a straightforward fight as well, because Anti-Venom is poison immune. I don't really have any buffs. I have access to petrify. And in all honesty, I am going to make several mistakes here, but it's all good because Anti-Venom can take it. Even though it's just a rank 4 6-star, I kind of, like, if I'm going to be using Anti-Venom more in Alliance War, I do want to rank him up. The problem is that there are so many science champions that I want to rank up specifically. So this time around, I am actually going for Spectre debuffs just to reverse more of that willpower healing and regeneration and improve my damage output, which actually might have been a mistake because at some point I think Man-Thing will go unstoppable when I don't have slow active, so I'm going to need to wait that out. But so far, we see that he's going down successfully. Here, I, for whatever reason, just don't parry. The parry index issues have been becoming more and more, like, noticeable for me. It's either me not being very awful at the game, or I have been struggling a lot more with parry index and AI. I kind of feel like we probably will need to make a video talk about your experience and mine as well, because AI has been more passive than ever, and dexing and parrying seems to be more inconsistent than ever, at the very least for me. But it's fine. I dropped to level 3, and now we're just chipping away at the rest of it. Because of the armor break, because of my signature ability on my anti-venom, we're doing fine. Here he did go unstoppable, which, you know, is my fault. I could have easily stacked up those deaccelerates, but we can see that I'm recovering vast majority of the damage while still keeping perfect control of the fight. Absolutely not worried. I'm also mitigating the Mystic Dispersion or reversing it completely with those Withers and Petrifies. And yeah, Anti-Venom did the thing. And then for the last fight, we're just going to go in with Ronan. It is a SIG 200 Ronan. This fight does get sketchy at the end part of it. Actually, I'm kind of thinking of taking my Ronan to rank 4. I'm strongly considering it, because I end up using him more and more. It's just, you know, without a question, I use my Ronan more and more and more. Be that Battlegrounds, be that an Alliance War. So I figured I might as well take the guy to rank 4. So here I do bait out the level 2, which is awesome, because that is an extra buff. And now I do get clipped, which makes this fight immediately a lot scarier. Because the plan is, even if I run out of stun loop, I have Indestructible 3 boost, and I can eat level 3 and just go straight back to stunning the Hulkling indefinitely, basically. Now my Indestructible 3 boost is gone, and I just have to finish this. But it's fine. We probably will. We see that I do manage a relatively decent stun here. I still have my Relic in order as well. And here I managed to get in my level 1 whilst the Indestructible is active, so that was an extra buff. But at this point, he only had like 2 buffs. So again, it does get a bit sketchy towards the end with the buffs falling off and not recovering quickly enough. But, you know, we're fine. Unfortunately, though, we lost this war 3 deaths to 4. And it was largely the fault of our ball group, which kind of sucked. It was quite a bit demotivating, because we, you know, died 3 times. Out of the 4 deaths total. Still, obviously, great war for GT40. Best of luck to them for the remainder of the season. Not that they will need it. But now we are up to date to the current war. Currently, we are fighting against Legion. And I do have a slightly different team. I'm still using Anti-Venom. But I also have Cassie and Warlock. And my Cassie is rank 5 now. I took her up because we really needed one in our ball group, and I was kind of planning to use those catalysts on Morbius most likely, or somebody else, but it's fine. I just ranked up Cassie because we're gonna have the same defensive and offensive tactic at the very least for another season, and Cassie is a cool champion. I really do like her. So this first fight over here is going to be against Sasquatch, and it's the Hazard Shift, and it's also, I believe, Power Reserve now. So it is tougher, and Sasquatch on Power Reserve is very, very mean champion to go up against, because when he's in Wrath of Tanarak, he can throw special attacks without using any power, and that means that you will inevitably end up getting cornered, especially because Sasquatch is awakened. You can't punish his special attacks. There's nothing really you can do, and obviously this isn't going to be the fastest fight either. So what I'm going to go to make this fight as safe as possible. Again, I am going to go for the deaccelerates. I could have done this fight faster if I kept my Spectres up, but it's fine. We're just going to go for the deaccelerates instead, just to make sure that we do not need to worry about Unstoppable. That I got very unlucky. I should not have blocked it, to be fair, but it was only 20% chance to get stunned whilst he isn't in Wrath of Tanarak, and of course I did get stunned. And now we can see that he has a ton of power, and he doesn't want to use it. So immediately I get cornered. At this point I got slightly worried in the fight, but finally he throws it. and I can, try and get out of the corner. I do have my deaccelerates and withers and everything else, and I just need him to work with me a little bit. And in reality, I probably would have been better off blocking this level 2 as well. At the very least, some hits off it, because that's kind of the point of anti-venom, is just take the hits and block. Now this one I definitely did need to evade. Now again, thanks to Withers and Petrify, whenever we do trigger MD, I'm actually reversing the power gain from it. So that is helping me leaps. I have regained some sort of control over the map. I'm not in the corner anymore. And now he's in Wrath of Tenrak. But at this point, he already has the 5 Withers, the 2 Petrifies, the slow, the deaccelerates. He's, losing plenty of health. I just need to wait out this Wrath. Again, because he's not losing any power as he's throwing these. And now just bait out this one last special, which he doesn't really want to throw. At some point, I think I considered just going for pushing him to level 3, but it's fine. He finally throws it. Now I can put in another Petrify, more debuffs, reverse that regen yet again, evade everything here, and yeah, just finish off the fight. It's not the fastest fight, but it's very safe with anti-venom, I would say, because even if I would end up eating a level 3, I'd be fine, and I'd probably regen a lot of that damage back anyways, or throughout the fight. Next up is Havoc, and this is going to be a bit messy fight, because I think about twice I will end up getting hit in the face thinking I parried him when I didn't. And there's not much else to say. We just, here I go for an ill-advised heavy attack. So I do get punished for it, but it's fine. Now I push myself past bar of power, so he gains his indestructible buff for a bit, which again is perfectly fine by me. I just want to get to my level 2 and drop it and hopefully make it in time. I do, but barely. My last hit connects in the incinerate phase. Luckily, I do not get incinerated, but one incinerate would have been fine. And there I go for a cheeky heavy attack as well, just to get that bleed on, just to get an extra debuff there. But for most part, I'm just patiently waiting for the poison phase. And yeah, this is power focus 1 node, so as soon as he reaches a bar of power, he hardly gains any power at all whatsoever. So there's no real danger of, pushing Havoc to 3 bars of power. Plus, obviously, the Warlock's power control is, making this into a solid matchup. The only annoying thing is that, I do need to play around hazard shift here and only attack in the poison phase. I did not play it perfectly at all. As you can see, I definitely have taken some significant amount of damage, much more than I should. I shouldn't be coming out of this fight losing more than 10% health, but happens. Now I'm in corner, but I'm not worried again because I'm just waiting out the phase. I'm perfectly comfortable avoiding Havoc's heavy attacks. That is just about the only way you can die in this fight, though. If you eat a heavy attack from Havoc, that is how you can die with Warlock in this fight. But we didn't, so it's all good. So those were the fights that I did previous night, and this morning I had to deal with Dr. Doom, Bishop, and an America Chavez mini-boss. And I'm going to be using Cassie for this, and that is a big Doom, so I do need to pay attention. And here, we did discover that whoever placed this Dr. Doom actually placed it with Recall Masteries active, so that is going to make my job even easier. But this node also has Power Focus 2, which is super helpful for Cassie because I will have no trouble pushing Dr. Doom to level 2s, basically. And tactic attackers are effectively immune to hazard shift, so you can use like Silk and Cassie and whatnot. Even if Cassie would not be immune to shock in herself, we're going to see that I'm going to be taking bleeds, and it's just not going to mean anything. And here we can see that the Doom is going down fast. I am taking bleeds, but I'm taking 0 bleed damage. In fact, I'm just getting that willpower heal going. And thanks to the slow debuff from the attack tactic, I don't need to worry about baiting level 2s from Dr. Doom because he's not getting his aura anyways. And this fight is just like a cakewalk. Perfect yellow bar finish and absolutely nothing to worry about. 37 seconds. Next up, Bishop. Bishop's also not going to be too bad. He's not a tactic defender. The only annoying thing here is the one-eyed open. And that's like a new change as well, especially for Warlock, where you do want to parry a lot. And then you place a stun debuff on the Bishop. And when you do get that damage back whilst Bishop is stunned. So that's kind of annoying. But in reality, it's, really not anything serious. Because Warlock's obviously tech champion, so Bishop's not going to be gaining any prowess from that. We can see that I am taking some damage from the one-eyed open node, but for the most part, we are just perfectly fine. I have, no bleeds on Bishop at this point, so I'm not actually power controlling. Therefore, I decided to just push him to level 2 and bait that out. Now we're just going to need to wait out the shock phase. I'm going to take a bit more damage from one-eyed open, which is fine. And at some point, I think I'm going to eat that heavy attack, but, indestructible 3 boost for the win. Now I just go for level 2. That Bishop takes quite a bit of damage. I have armor breaks on him, which means he's getting consistently power drained, which means I can be more aggressive until the shock phase starts. Now again, we just need to dance about a bit. I have a bar of power and my striker is about to be ready. So that kind of sets me up pretty much perfectly here, because with one full combo, striker, and another full combo, I'm going to be at level 2 to finish this fight off, and relatively easy peasy. And next up, my final fight over here. I do need to go through this one of the mini boss islands first, and then I can go to this Chavez. So it's Stunning Reflection, Polka Dot Power, Brute Force, and Cassie is going to be perfect for this. You guys are going to see multiple reasons why. Again, striker would have been helpful, but it's fine. And so I just start by charging a heavy attack, drop my heavy. I have all the debuffs on that Chavez, and just bait out her specials. You can use Cassie against Chavez similar fashion how you do with Tigra. You can just shrunk down during her level 1, and nothing bad's going to happen. At some point, I do want to, finish combos with lights to inflict the poison. And I just chain my level 1 to my heavy attack to get that taunt back up, keep knocking her down. Life's good. I purposely interrupt her heavy attack here after the first hit, because why not? And now you can see that that Chavez is just getting destroyed. I have plenty of pin particles, I have a ton of power stings, and such a super easy, straightforward fight. Chavez can be a scary champion to go up against, but Cassie just took care of business. And currently, well, we are going to win this war realistically, because Legion died too much at the beginning. I think they died like 10 or 9 within the first 100 fights or so. And our battle group actually finished all our fights, so we kind of somewhat redeemed ourselves from the previous war, because we finished with a donut. I believe the first donut this season so far, and needless to say, we are super happy with that. So, here we go. Those are the 2 war videos, and I hope you guys enjoyed them. Let me know who you have been using in Alliance War and how you like the new map, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about